As you guys know, Bound for Glory is tonight, but we have some major news for AEW and Impact Wrestling. Today is October 23rd, bringing you guys major news on this subject matter. Also, Andrade has large problems with WWE, so much so he has become incredibly vocal on Twitter with just one single tweet. Also, backstage heat between two WWE superstars. There's some beef going on. We're bringing you the updates. This is Destination PW. As always, you guys already know the drill. Click that subscribe button, drop a like, comment, and all of that good stuff. Let's jump into the news. All right, we're going to talk about Andrade because this man has definitely been underutilized in AEW. Yes, his matches with Pac have been incredible. Yes, Andrade is a really talented wrestler, and yes, I do genuinely believe that WWE did a better job with Andrade than AEW thus far. It's not a popular opinion. I truly understand that. I look forward to reading your comments, but it's statistically proven. Andrade's had 4 matches since his debut in AEW, and yes, all of those matches were fantastic, but Andrade was brought in as a big deal with Vicky Guerrero, and then immediately with no real explanation, AEW decided to put Andrade with Chavo and a personal assistant, and then with no explanation, Andrade turned on them. Then there was rumors of Ric Flair coming into AEW, which, as we all know, as of right now, is not happening. So, with that being said, Andrade being vocal on Twitter, well, it makes a lot of sense for him because feels like he's been more impactful in AEW, despite the fact that he's not had that many matches. Now, I'm not saying this in a way that's disrespectful or negative. I really like Andrade, and I think AEW will be able to get him to the point where he is a main focal point of the show at some point, but right now it's just not that way. And he basically went on Twitter and tweeted out, "F you, WWE." And I thought this was very ballsy for one, but also I think when it comes to Charlotte Flair and Andrade and Ric Flair, I think they're pretty much done with WWE. You know, I'm making that assumption that, you know, based on the way Andrade's been acting, the way Ric Flair obviously requested his release, I've been saying for a very, very long time that I do think at some point Charlotte does go to AEW. 1,000,000%. I don't think there's any loyalty to the WWE brand. Now, with that being said, Andrade at least held championship gold in WWE. You know, and yes, don't get me wrong, WWE also misutilized Andrade as well. But I feel like AEW's mistake with Andrade, you know, it is possible that it could be repaired. I just don't know what AEW is going to do so. Also, the fact that Andrade is now being featured somewhat along Malachi Black does give me some hope. I hope in some degree this is going to lead to something, but I don't know. Based on AEW's track record thus far with Andrade, it seems like every time they're about to do something, they don't follow through. Not a big problem because AEW has shown us in the past that they are able to rebuild. They've done that with Miro. They've done that with other guys. So am I panicking about it? No. But Andrade saying F you to WWE clearly suggests that Andrade is very happy with that outcome on Rampage. And I look forward to seeing what's next. I just hope something good comes out of it. All right, guys. Also, PW Insider dropped some news about Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I want to add in my 2 cents because it's been reported that the two had a little bit of some backstage arguments going on during Smackdown last night. As you guys know, WWE decided to do the laziest booking, as you can imagine, yet again. After a WWE draft, they had them do a title exchange because Becky Lynch is the Raw Women's Champion, and well, Charlotte's got to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. And well, I wish I can sit here and tell you guys that there's a lot of logic that comes from this argument or whatever, because I really don't see any logic here. Becky and Charlotte are best friends. There's people talking about some Twitter stuff that Becky Lynch had tweeted back then in 2018 while in character. But apparently it led to a big blowout between the two, yelling and arguing backstage. Also during the segment, something that was supposedly not scripted was them throwing the belts at each other or whatever it may be. I don't know. I thought the segment was actually really good, but Here's the thing. Becky and Charlotte are going to be the two most prominently featured women's wrestlers in WWE. Alongside, you got Bianca Belair, Bayley, and of course you have Sasha Banks. Whatever issues they have going on backstage, hopefully it gets resolved, and hopefully it's not an issue, because at the end of the day, everybody keeps talking about the next WrestleMania in Dallas. And I've been saying for a while, I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns main eventing. I believe WWE is going to do the 4 horsewomen in a championship match. And that is largely due to my prediction of WWE should unify the women's championship belts. The idea of, handing the belts off and whatever, like, it just doesn't make sense to me, doing a title exchange after a draft. How stupid can you be to just have both champions be like, oh, well, now I'm on Smackdown, now I'm on Raw, here you go. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, I don't agree with it. And for our final story of the day, man, I predicted this. I did predict this. Ringside News came out with an article today. It was brought to my attention on the Discord server. So if you guys aren't in Discord, check out the link down below. But basically, AEW and Impact Wrestling are set to end their open door relationship. No more talent exchange. And I predicted this. I actually am a little disappointed in both companies, because I'm very excited for Bound for Glory, but it's very predictable that Christian Cage will not walk out as Impact champion. But also at the same time too, AEW closing the door on this relationship does not make sense to me. This was a very one-sided relationship. I think a lot of people agree with that too. Yeah, we see the Good Brothers on AEW, but the Good Brothers are signed to Impact. Unless for some reason it hasn't been disclosed that they're actually under contract with AEW now. Or maybe, Tony Khan will buy the Good Brothers out of their Impact contract. I don't know. But I feel like AEW should have used Impact Wrestling in a way that not only helps the AEW product in terms of the talent exchange, but we didn't see that many talent from Impact in AEW. The Good Brothers are the only ones I could think of at this point. And I think that's a problem. And I think this relationship was a problem from the beginning. I've been very adamant that it was very one-sided. And yeah, it was cool seeing Kenny Omega on Impact Wrestling. It was cool seeing Christian on Impact Wrestling. But at the same time too, this relationship, I would have done it differently. I would have booked it differently. In fact, I probably need a 1 hour long podcast to discuss this. But with that being said, I want to know what you guys think. Impact AEW closing the door on its relationship. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think it wasn't one-sided? I don't really see how both of the companies really got anything out of it. I feel like I would have done it differently. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on DPW.